So Sunday, March 3rd, Lily Pete put out a video called Creepy Starlight Fan Scams Artists, Threatens People, and Preys on Minors. Now, typically, if I got my wits about me, I try to go into these situations with an open mind. You know what? I did wind up watching this when I was dead exhausted. I was willing to just play cheerleader and check a mark and going, yeah, this, and this checks out. This is my area of concern. Bing bang boom, put out a video, but this is some of the things I just wanted to really talk about. But yeah, let's see if these accusations hold up against the defendant in this case. It's the same reason why I've sat down with people like Performance Major, Dusky Novel, and Victor Vortex. I'm sure I'm probably forgetting a few. I can't even keep track of these people anymore.
This is the story of Draco, who for the rest of this video will be represented by Zombie Napoleon for Resident Evil 4, and his weird and creepy obsession with Starlight and his insistence on harassing and threatening everyone around him. Draco started out being a weirdo about commissions, insisting that he was saving up for money to pay artists. Nothing major so far, but he was insistent that he wanted to commission artists now and say that he could pay later. When confronted by the fact that this is not how buying art works, he kind of just ignored it and literally argued with an actual professional artist about the logistics of buying art.
Considering Draco K. Knight Blaze is fired back with "my mom thinks" while buying art, regardless of whose fault you think this was, right off the bat, not that an experienced artist would need my advice in this case, but if the commission in question is several $100s, if you need to go to a parent to get advice on how to broker the deal, I can't imagine this being worth an artist's while, much less the hassle. I do understand as customers, we all have to start somewhere. Perhaps figuring out the price arrangement at a lower scale in the future would be probably a better start. That's my thoughts, Draco, assuming he was just being ill-informed.
Usually artists will charge half up front and half when the project is completed, so that if someone stiffs them and runs off, they're not out completely. Then you get people like me who just pay the whole thing up front because that's just too much of a hassle to deal with.
There is no hard and fast rule while buying art. If you have preferred customers or artists that you work with on the norm, both sides generally work with one another to keep things rolling along smoothly, as for Draco's case. If he was shaky about paying that much, perhaps he should have started with an inexpensive sketch to test the artist's ability, to do the work and deliver, if he had any concerns. Yeah, a couple $100 is a big deal, but it's grossly unacceptable to expect an artist you've never worked with before to do all that work on a wing and a prayer.
Or he has the money and keep people updated. To normal brains, this translates to annoy the shit out of artists. He didn't listen, and the artist he was nagging just got more annoyed with him. He eventually tried to wrangle free art out of Sam, then saying, "Oh well, it's my mom's decision," and "well, I'm almost there," when Sam started talking about payment. It's clear that he's trying to stall in the hopes that Sam will finish it and he can run off with it. In reality, Sam hadn't started anything yet.
Now, judging by this last screenshot, I have discussed future projects with artists, why they were already working on something. I try not to do that, I already know that they're busy, but yeah, sure, I've done it. Now, is Draco impaired or is he just being kind of sneaky? I've managed to find Draco's YouTube.
Hello everyone, on my YouTube channel. I unfortunately regret to inform you that I wasn't able to upload another video this week. I'm really sorry. Due to technical difficulties, my Xbox constantly kicks me out of the game, and I ended up losing all of my progress.
And based off the cadence in his voice, I'm not a medical practitioner, it's possible that Draco might be a touch impaired. That's not excusing his behavior. I'm more than happy to assume the worst in his case. So yeah, if you're an artist, I would encourage you to avoid Draco here. I will naturally include a link to his Twitter, his YouTube channel below, as well as his second alias. If anyone has more, please list them in the comments down below.
In some cases, he even goes as far as to convince people to do sketches for him, refuse to pay, take the sketches, and try to con other artists into finishing them. It's like this guy can't do anything without being a sleazebag.
I actually had to pay for a sketch from one artist and then the artwork from another. I've heard of artists being cool enough to do some of the color work for free. Sam Outline does some of that work for Shon Howell on the regular, who currently has cancer. I'll be including a link to Shon Howell's Twitter as well as a means to send your support if you want. Sorry I took so long getting to that. I'm just was finding the right place to put that here, and I still don't know if that works.
Being on Honeycrisp. Wait, what? Normally I wouldn't be bothering with something like people being weird about the fictional characters they want to fuck, otherwise I'd be taking a deep dive into slightly worse minds, but let's be honest here, you don't get to be this level of creepy without bleeding over into some other shit, and of course he fucking did. Draco is really fascinated with killing Honeycrisp. You know, the precious babu who nobody—
I actually don't know who Honeycrisp is, so I typed in Honeycrisp, and thankfully I didn't get porn. I got apples. Lots and lots of apples. So I'm gonna assume I missed an Applejack episode somewhere, or is this from Steven Universe? I don't recall anyone I'm in discussion with mentioning Honeycrisp, positively or negatively. So I guess all this did was show how out of touch I am with the show proper. I found this one picture from Summer Sketch from some fanon character. You know what, I get really bored really fast in MLP the moment I hear anything Apple.
Decides that what Honeycrisp Tales really needs is fucking cupcakes. He decided to write an impromptu screed about Sonata literally eating honey. And when Carousel complained, he tried to laugh it off.
There's a lot of people in the fandom. Or at least there's enough people who will tell you about the weird shit that they're into when you don't want to hear it. I have a headcanon that certain people put feelers out there to see if you're into the same stuff as them. Now, on one hand, Pete makes up the best defense for Draco by literally calling it cupcakes. And you might ask why. Well, why is that a good defense? Have you ever known any of the writers, artists, anyone associated with the project before, during, or after that got run out of the fandom for having anything to do with cupcakes? Is cupcakes creepy? Well, duh, that's kind of the point. Is it concerning that Draco wanted to eat a child character? Yeah. But from what it looks like, everyone didn't immediately stop talking to him when he said it. So I'm asking, how serious did everyone take all that? I'm not saying it's acceptable behavior, and it's certainly not something you should put up with. I'm saying it looks like the people talking to him were putting up with it before all this.
Creeping on minors. Oh god, no. Draco, during the midterm elections, decided that the best way to be convinced to get out and vote was to make sexual comments about a minor.
So let's get to the main event, so to speak. On point. He stopped. And that class is exactly what you're supposed to do. I talked with a man accused of hitting on younger children, teenagers. And in both cases, he stopped when he said he found out the age. I will include that recording withholding the man's personal information because I don't have definitive proof of his knowledge and intent. It's something I've put a lot of time and thought into, and I tried kicking the recording up to a few people a bit more responsible than I. It's been 2 or 3 weeks, and sadly I'm going to have to be an adult, the adult, and take responsibility for what happens next, or, well, hope for the best. Naturally, I'll want your input down below.
By the way, I love this remark from Carousel. You, who eats and breathes NSFW, totally meant that in a safe way. He then tries to play it off as, I meant something like buy me a soda, JK. Bruh. Stop saying ha-ha at the end of every sentence. You're not helping yourself. But then it got worse. He started hitting on someone after she told him that her age was 15, even younger than the last minor he was creepy toward. He even started telling her how important it was that she know what NSFW is and that not knowing could be detrimental. He's trying to fucking groom this kid. Are there no limits to your insanity?
Alright, touchy subject in 3, 2, 1. The first time I watched this video, I assumed Draco was a total ghoul skimming through the comments on screen. I mentioned the video offhand to Spoken Mind, who suggested I give the video a second look. Draco is suggesting around a 15-year-old should start to look into, well, adult content online. Dear Draco, a lot of kids look into finding porn as soon as possible. Well, as soon as they can. Here's why Lily is right. Regardless of what kids start to pursue a topic doesn't mean it's appropriate. And here's what Draco might have been thinking. Maybe Draco was thinking, well, when I was of age, I was looking at porn at that time. Now, when I paused, I noticed something. It says 11:55 Wednesday. This is the part where Draco is talking about elf ears, and the next cap is 1:07 Thursday AM. There's potentially a good hour plus of missing context. I originally watched this video on Twitter, so I paused, I ran to Pete's video on YouTube, and expecting or hoping for a Google Doc, maybe having some missing context included. Zip. 0 links. And I want to be clear, this isn't a bad video. I'm not suggesting that Draco is innocent, or you should want to hang out with the guy. I'm not saying that. Some of it just feels incomplete, and without a way to reach out to anyone involved, well, here we are. This line here at 1:07 a.m. I'm glad we can still do that here in an RP. Here if you'd like, just not at the moment. There was an hour plus on what might have been said in the last post from Duchess Starlight, and it was about elf ears.
Entity, there's no two ways about it. This man is a fucking pedophile. But I mean, we knew that 2 segments ago when he started being creepy about Honeycrisp.
Hey, I'm Pete. How old is Draco? Draco suggests he doesn't vote, which could infer he's being lazy, or maybe he can't. Recently, Chaos Armada lied about being 19 when he was 18. Instepius has lied about being 16 when he was 15. On one hand, Draco might just be impaired, or he might be a dumb kid. A dumb creepy kid, I can't say. I have no idea if he's 40, 30, or 20, or less. If you have any more information, please comment down below. That's why we're doing this video.
I am very badass! Naturally, this kind of behavior doesn't endear yourself to other human beings. When you steal other people's work, fail to actually scam them into giving you free artwork, behave like a complete creeper on everyone regarding Starlight, Honeycrisp, and actual fucking minors, they don't want to be around you. So Draco has been repeatedly kicked out of servers and had people cut ties with him, and he responds by being very mad on the internet.
It's not to say that there aren't dumb adults threatening to beat other people up. But yeah, Draco, if you're watching, I want to talk to you. I want to know your age. I want to know your side of the story. If you're an artist affected by this, if you know Draco's age or any further information, even if you don't trust me, please reach out to Leo Convoy. I just want to get to the bottom of this. I have no doubt that you don't deserve this level of bullcrap that you had to go through here. Again, Pete wasn't nice enough to link the artists down below. I'm sensing a trend. I'm not chiming in on the whole sock puppet account thing. I got confused, and naturally anyone else is free to tackle that at their discretion.
Been dealing with the majority of this bullshit. He's been harassed and stalked by Draco for daring to kick the little scrote out of her server. He's had to deal with Draco trying to scam her and raging about his art being posted in other servers and yammering on about how she betrayed and hurt him with his horrible criticism. Sam really deserves a fucking medal because she's had to deal with so much of Draco's crap, and he doesn't deserve to have that job put on her shoulders. Sam, Eve, and Carousel all deserve medals because they've all been dealing with the brunt of this garbage, and fuck me running with a pair of scissors if anyone thinks I'm not gonna spotlight.
Again, my door is open to any of these artists. If you choose to pass, I'll understand, and you have a nice day.
His comments about Honeycrisp and toward actual minors indicate that this boy is a predator waiting to happen. Too many times has this been allowed to just sit there. It's time to be proactive and not reactive. This is a very clearly unhinged person who should be forcibly removed from any and all community interaction. If you have this guy in your server or Skype group or even just your mutual follows, it would be best to remove him and block him as quickly as possible. He goes by the following names on most forms of social media, and it would be best for yourself and everyone else if he was no longer considered welcome anymore.
Again, Draco, if you're watching this, recently, higher members in the community have been willing to spotlight dangerous individuals in said community, and if I cover this situation to their satisfaction, I deeply encourage you to reach out to me as soon as possible if there's a misunderstanding here. Also, if you're one of the earlier artists and you'd like to clarify to myself or someone up further up the chain, my Twitter will be included down below, or the comments, or perhaps a message on DA. Thank you for your time. And Draco, I hope to hear from you soon.
There's some accusations that you've been involved with some underage girls.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
It was all my fault.
How many?
Not many, only a couple. But
Here, 1 second. Somebody I need to get in touch with real quick. There we go. This is a friend of mine. Ranger, you there? Oh, muted. Beautiful. So anyways, you still there, Gunnar?
yes, I'm still here.
Were you aware of their age beforehand?
Well, with Quirky Craft, I wasn't aware of her age
Okay.
until I found out after she blocked me on Twitter.
Alright. How old was she?
13, I believe.
Okay.
But all I did was ask her out before Valentine's Day, and
All right. What about
was-
what about the other ones?
boy, where do I even begin? Well, 2 years ago, back at BronyCon, when I stalked Love Cake, I also stalked her friend Crystal Raulu. I think she was 12. And I ERP'd back a lot back in DeviantArt right before I got banned by Butcher X. And it's been like that was 3 years ago. And one of those people I used to RP with all the time, Sonic Fan 1345, she's a friend of mine. I don't know how old she was, but roughly 14-ish, maybe 15. But I took it easy on her, but
Did you know what age she was?
no. But she was like teens. It's been a while.
So, in addition to those two in Wub, were there any other ones?
No one else. Well,
How old are you?
I'm 25.
All right. When was the last time that this happened? I stalked Love Cake and Crystal 2 years ago at BronyCon. It was August. Why? How old was Wub and how old was Crystal?
Well, Love Cake was like 21 back then,
Okay.
and I was 23.
All right. Why?
Crystal was 12. I mean, she's gotta be like at least 14 now. I don't know. I don't talk to her anymore. She blocked me as well.
Why?
It's my fault, okay?
But why? Though?
I stalked. I was obsessed with them, and I just wanted them to like me or be their friend, but I'm not their friend. I'm just some creep ass. I'm fucking stalker.
Hey, take a breath. We all do stupid ass shit sometimes.
But after that angry outburst on Twitter, no one's ever gonna forgive me. Now I have to be away from them as long as possible. But at least now with me out of the way, I can't harm anyone else. I don't belong here. I don't belong anywhere.
Well, no, hold on. While it might be the best idea for you to leave the fandom, specifically Brony fandom, that doesn't mean you don't belong anywhere, and it doesn't mean you can't, rectify your actions.
It's my fault. Let I couldn't let go of my anger or hatred. I couldn't drop my grudge between those people I loathe.
Was there anybody else that you stalked?
No. I don't believe there's no one else I've stalked. But I can't act normal around other people. I can't be myself around around others.
Have you considered therapy at all?
Well, yesterday I've already told my problems to my parents, and just today I've already deleted half of my Twitter history.
What exactly did you delete?
Just the tweets with curse words in them for my mother's sake, and I've deleted the meaningless tweets. The tweets that no longer mean anything. Half of my Twitter history already gone down the tube, never to be seen or heard from again.
Gunnar, do you have a criminal record?
No criminal record.
You wouldn't think me impolite if I asked for your first and last name, would you?
My name is Gunnar.
It's your legal name?
It's my legal name.
Alright. What state are you from? You have no criminal record, correct?
No criminal record.
Alright, I'll have to go look into that. It's a bit late on my end, and I'm just trying to do a follow-up here.
I can do some research if you'd like.
Yeah?
But, Gunnar, I would suggest you get help. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I currently see a therapist. It's... some of what you were saying I empathized with, as in not being able to act, normal around other people. So I definitely would, request that you looked into a therapist and a psychiatrist, for the time being.
Okay.
I'm just saying it would be beneficial to everyone. I really think that. And it's really not a bad thing to see a therapist and get help. That's really not a derogatory thing.
I will look into that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to look at something real quick. Sorry.
You're fine. Anthony, is there anything you need me to do?
No, there may be someone else that will want to talk to you tomorrow, Gunnar. Will that be alright?
Yes.
Alright. That's great. This will have to do for now. Alright, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll be in touch.